welcome to KGL TV. This is The Voice, and I am Reverend Kelly. Hello, we are here on Season 1, Episode 5. We've been doing this for the last couple of weeks, and it seems to be working. People are tuning in. I appreciate that. My first 3 episodes, I was red, so my lighting had me, like when you watch it back in replay, I was like a pink or red Teletubby. Today I am just this color. This is what I look like now. This is fixed all of the lighting for our live programming. I'm so glad you keep tuning in. Thank you so much for that. If you're watching this on a replay later, please subscribe and follow along with what we're doing so you never miss another live show. I've been broadcasting for the last 30 years in some capacity. Can you believe that? The Voice is my latest show. This was one of my shows before. Take a look at this. It was called Spiritual Sunday with Reverend Kelly. It was on Sunday nights at 7 p.m. and we were live on KGL TV, and you could phone up and you could, get a prayer for you. I've been doing shows for so long. I started, look, I got these pictures together for you too. Take a look at this. These are my badges from back in like the maybe not 1990s, like maybe early 2000s, when I was on radio stations in Oshawa, Ontario. I was doing the news, and then I would also be on their FM station. I would drive around in their vehicle and go announce people and introduce famous singers on stages. And that news station, AM 1350, actually that was the place I was on when 9/11 happened. And so that was the station, and I had to be the announcer that went on right after the terrorist attacks of 9/11. I couldn't even write that news report. I had to get my manager to write it for me. It was that big. So that's the kind of career that I've had, and I'm so excited that podcasts exist. I'm using StreamYard right now to produce this show. I've been using it since the very beginning. I was one of the beta users way back then. So I've been doing podcasts up into the thousands by now, not just my own, but other people's podcasts as well on KGL TV here. We lost our channel in September. I remember the date, September 2nd of 2025. We lost KGL TV on YouTube, which had thousands of videos and subscribers and all of our likes and all of our stuff. And that was a day that was like, whew, that's a wake up, right? We have Meta and other policing forces still on the cannabis industry. So if you are watching this, if you're able to get this feed and you're able to see it, somewhere along the way, the algorithm is being kind to us. I started doing The Voice back up as a regular series. I've done it in the past with specials with amazing humans in the cannabis industry. And I started it back up specifically for chefs, because we're in the middle, because I wanted an extra way to be able to interview them. We're in the middle of this competition, So You Think You Can Cook with Cannabis, Ontario edition. We are about to crown Ontario's best cannabis chef. That's going to happen on June 1st in Whitby, Ontario at the Joint. And so we've had 3 of our chef competitors, I think, so far. And we have one today. And she actually kind of looks a little bit like our Can Avenger, The Voice. I was looking at that. I was like, oh, we have someone that actually looks like our caricature today. And she could very well be made into the very first chef caricature of the Can Avengers. So here's the Can Avengers, right? And here's what's going to happen. The winner of So You Think You Can Cook with Cannabis will be the first ever Can Avenger chef. Amazing, right? And so that's going to happen. There's 6 competitors. Chef Mellisa is one of them. I'm wearing the outfit that I met her in, so I wanted to wear it in her honor today. I'm so excited that she's joining. So we've got cannabis news coming up today. We've got a little bit of sports. We've got a little bit of entertainment, as we do in our morning radio show, as if it was a morning radio show. It's a podcast that you can watch at any point in time. It's probably 2 a.m. when you're watching it, but that's the format of the show anyway. So we're going to do that. We're going to come back after this break with Chef Mellisa.
One of the biggest areas for growth in the cannabis industry is actually cannabis hospitality. And did you know you could start your own business for under $5,000? Allow me to take you through my mentorship program to receive your cannabis hospitality stewardship certificate, where we're going to allow you to understand this plant in a way in which you can actually shepherd the plant to people and not only a way to start a new career, but a way to actually enrich people's lives so they can use the benefits of cannabis to enhance their lifestyle. Please join me on this revolutionary journey.
Stereo edition. So you think you can cook with cannabis? Do you think you can cook with cannabis? It's not as easy as it sounds. I mean, there are chefs out there. Chefs are artists. I've always said that. They're artists. When you can make someone feel something from a meal, and it's very rare too, because chefs are very rare to be able to produce that kind of art form. But then to add cannabis into that, where you have to make sure that your infusions are not going to harm someone in the sense of making them feel intoxicated. You want to feel elevated, right? So they're very rare. Now, this will be the fourth time that we have produced this competition. We've done it twice in Ontario before. We did not crown Ontario's best cannabis chef. That is the first time is this time. And we did it in Vancouver in a two-part, starting in October of last year and then culminating in January of this year, where we crowned Vancouver's or British Columbia's best cannabis chef, and that was Danny Diaz. And so now, in just a few days from now, June 1st, 2026, we will be crowning Ontario's best cannabis chef. Now, a lot of people applied to be able to be part of this competition. We narrowed it down to 6 competitors, and we've been with them for the last couple of months. We've got to know them a little bit more. We've been sharing their journey online. 4 of them came out to an event last month in Niagara Falls, where they spoke on a panel about the future of culinary cannabis, because they really are pioneers. They are people that are doing something that very few people around the world are even doing. And our guest today, our co-host today, is a rare gem because she's been doing it longer than most people I know. And I say she as well because when I'm talking, it almost is unfortunate to say it, but a man's run business. And I don't want to say that in that way, but like I deal with a lot of males that apply for this competition. When there is a woman, a female that will apply for the competition, I'm like, yeah, show your stuff, right? But when we think of cannabis culinary, certainly in Ontario, Canada, over the last decade, our guest today has been pioneering in that space as a woman longer than anybody else that I know personally, actually. So I'm so excited to be able to introduce you today to Chef Mellisa Anthony. Hi, Chef.
Hello, how are you?
Hi, thanks for joining. We're matching, we're blonde. And when I met you, you were wearing like a little printed outfit like this one too. So we matched.
I had a
and I loved it.
jacket.
Yeah. And we
Yeah.
met. And that was so exciting. And then when I was watching the intro today, and I was like, oh, that Can Avenger, the blonde lady. Oh, now, and we have 3 blonde ladies today. So it's a blonde lady episode because our background lady is blonde, and then we have us. So we match. We're all excited to match. I'm so glad that you're here, Chef.
Thank you for
what
having me,
are you?
Kelly.
You're called Cocowana, MJ Cocowana. Did I get that right?
Yes, that's the cannabis business that I started with my mother in 2018.
2018. That's almost 8 years ago. Well, I guess it is 8 years ago you've been doing this. I don't know very many people that have been pioneering in this space that long. When I think of like longevity like that, probably the only one I can think of is one of our judges, Chef Alfred, the heightened chef. And
Yes, and I
actually,
worked
you know
with
him,
back
right?
then.
You've been working with him. He actually
Well, I
brought you
didn't
to.
work with him. I actually participated in one of his. He had a thing called the Rebel Chef series and the Heightened Chef. So it was a dinner series that he was doing, and I was one of the vendors. And I was also asked to be a speaker at one of those events. So,
Of course. Wonderful.
Yeah.
And so like that's what I mean for many, many years when there are so many people like in the muggle world, I call them the muggle world, the non-cannabis world, that are still so afraid of cannabis dining there, because maybe they have heard of someone that has had a bad experience when they overconsumed. So anybody that is actually working in this space right now and pioneering in this space, you're rare. Can you talk a little bit about what brought you to cannabis and culinary, Mellisa?
Yes, absolutely. I was a chef prior to having my own cannabis business. I was working in the chef industry and also working in healthcare industry. So I was kind of doing both at the time. And I came into some health issues. I had fibroids and it was super painful. And I tried, like, because my doctor said that I could live with them he's like, you can live with them. They're not cancerous or anything like that. And I said, well, how do you really know if they are cancerous or not, unless they're removed, right? So I decided that I said, at this point in my life, I was 40 years old. I'm like, I'm not going to have any more children. And I'd rather be safe and just have a hysterectomy. And so then I didn't have that lingering thought in my mind that possibly I had cancer and I didn't know it. Right. So that's the one thing about that. It's like, especially for women, when everything is on the inside, you don't know what's going on with you,
Of course.
get a thorough regular checkup and so on. So after the operation, they gave me all kinds of meds. And they just made me feel like a zombie, honestly. It was like I couldn't sleep, I couldn't eat, I was nauseous, I felt like, just awful.
Right.
Really. And especially using the washroom, and because of all the meds, and like they kind of bind you up, and it was just an awful feeling.
Yeah.
So at that time I was still making, like, just for fun, I was making cookies. I was making these healthy cookies. My mom called them they were like nuts and grains, and it was like really no flour in them. I was making these like kind of like breakfast cookies, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
And I asked my doctor, I said, if I stop taking the meds, is it going to have any side effect on me? Like, do I really need them, or is it just for pain management or whatever? And he's like, well, you could try. And then I did, and it was just like a miracle. All those things, all those problems I had were gone. I was able to sleep.
Like that.
I was able to use the washroom correctly and feel like, that I was on my way to healing. So then there was like a Grow Up conference that happened 2018. One of the first ones before legalization, or just when it was happening. Yeah. And my mother and I, we went, and my mom is like old school. So it's like very like, oh, you got to hide. You don't want anyone to see you smoking it, right. So, but for me, it was like, I'm a little more liberal than she was. But when she came with me to the conference, she was just like, wow, this is so awesome. Like, just amazing. Just incredible how everyone is like, and there was like a few little catering businesses that they had at that time, like prepared meals, but they didn't have like, there wasn't a whole lot of things done with food yet, like legally. So I'm like, yeah, well, let's do this. And so I decided, first of all, what I did, I created a business name and made a card. And so then I went around, because there were this like gray market, black market little dispensaries that were opening up. Yeah. And I went and I gave my card to them, and I said, where is there anything happening? Like, because I knew it was all underground at the time.
Of course.
And they're like, yeah, there's this market called the Green Market, or I forget the name of it. Yeah. And they're like, this is the location. So I went there, and then I ended up speaking to the person running it, and I said I would love to have a booth. And, and I kind of did some concession stand type stuff. So I did like popcorn and donuts and smoothies and cake pops and what else was the biggest thing? Oh, I did Jamaican beef patties was a very, very popular thing that I did.
bet.
And there was one other guy that actually was doing it as well, and it was called Maddie's Patties.
Oh,
It was really popular at the time. And I
Sure.
was like, oh my gosh, I couldn't believe that someone else was doing infused patties.
yeah. It's so great, but these are some of the first of its kind, seriously, in Toronto that would be available for sale or for vending. Like, before that, it would be like completely underground and stuff. But you were bringing it out there, and you were
And it just
infusing
snowballed.
food.
Like I was so busy. I was doing
Wow.
so many different things, and it was just like all these like different vending booths and stuff like that. But it wasn't very profitable. It was because there's so many people doing the same things,
Sure.
like candies and
Competition.
cookies and this and So it was more for advertising. And it took me some time to really realize that it wasn't very profitable to be doing. It was more just for networking and promotional stuff like that. So, and then I also did a few years in a row, actually, the Cannabis Living Expo. I had a booth there a few times. There was Liza and Garrett were the ones running those shows, and it was just people were reaching out to me. People were reaching out to me and wanting to connect with me. Like I didn't even know them. Like they contacted me through Instagram. And then there was also the heightened high bar also contacted me. Lucas is amazing. He was working with me for a little while, helping me create a website. It was just all like people just trying to support me and inspire me. And same with Canolio Gourmet. They contacted me. Do you want to be part of our platform? And I've been on part of that platform since 2019.
Yeah, they're amazing pioneers there too. Amazing. I love hearing how
I
this
have a private dinner that's already booked for June 11th.
That's incredible.
With Canolio.
That's incredible. You MJ Cocowana because you prefer to use coconut oil to infuse, is that right?
Yes, MJ is for Mellisa and Janet. It just so happens it's also for marijuana. Janet is my mother. And Cocowana, yes, because that's the original thing that I was really pushing. It was cooking with coconut oil.
Amazing. And so what brought you to our competition? So you think you can go cook with cannabis?
Well, I had a lovely lady that has kind of been supporting me over the years. Her name is Kelly. And she's been such an amazing woman, inspiring me, and always reaching out if there's anything happening, and you're letting me know. And I'm so thankful to you, Kelly, because when you did reach out to let me know that this competition was happening, I was going through a very difficult time. The beginning of this year was very hard. My sister passed away. And it was a sudden passing. So it kind of really shook the family. Like she's my younger sister. And I was the one having to take charge to do all the preparations and rearrangements and everything for her. So I was in a very dark place, like not feeling inspired, not feeling like not knowing what direction I wanted to go. And you, like an angel, contacted me. And I was, I was like, this is a sign. This is a sign that I need to push forward. Like, I'm not even looking for these opportunities and they're coming to me. That's a sign that I need to do it. So I said, yes, I am going to do it. I'm going to join the competition.
It's, I fully believe that it's divine. Creator sends these little nudges, our little angels throughout the earth. So that's all Creator doing it because that's your space. That's what, again, you're a pioneer. You're doing things that most aren't and share your skills. And I've always been such a fan of yours. I love watching you, the way that you climb forward, the things that you do. And I also watch your other profile that is the non-cooking profile because I'm like, okay, whoa. Okay, let's talk about that for a second. So the other day you sent me, maybe it was yesterday, you sent me some funny video about you can wear leopard print if you're a cougar. And I don't know much about being cougar, and that's because we were wearing matching. I don't know much about being a cougar, but will you tell me a little bit about that in also relation to the other thing that you do, which when I watch those videos, I blush, but I'm like, yeah, girl, always, every time I'm like, yeah, girl.
Well, I am a woman that has wears many hats, I guess you can say, or not. I'm going to be 48 this year, next month, actually, at the end of June.
Nice.
And the reason why, okay, I'm going to start out with the reason why I started working in the adult industry is, well, COVID, basically, like as a chef or any other person who works in the food or beverage or hospitality industry.
Yeah.
When COVID happened, everything was like, you had no job.
Right.
You had nothing.
Of course.
And it's like, what are you going to do? And, you know, I always kind of had a little spicy side to me. And, you know, it's like I'm sweet and spicy. That's my.
Yes, you are.
So I am an adult performer on a campsite. So
I think that is so exciting.
People in the comfort of my own home.
Right. Right. And sometimes, like you send, I think your actual handle is something about teasing, because you tease us with these little videos like, oh, like you could see more. And I'm like, oh my
there's only
goodness.
so much you can do on Instagram. So
yeah.
I had an amazing platform. I had almost 4,000 followers, and it was shut down. So
of course,
that one is the new one. I had to start over.
It's exactly what happens. They shut you down, and the control of the masses. Okay, so if I were to, because I'm the same age as you, if I were to want to be a cougar with my little dress here, what is the qualifications of that, Mellisa? What do I need to do?
Oh, you just be you, Kelly. You just be confident, a confident woman. That's all you have to be, because from experience, I can just tell you that as women get older, we are like fine wine.
Okay.
And we are a rare breed of women who are older and confident and feel sexy and live to their true selves.
Oh,
so when you do that, it's all the little cubs. I won't want to say little cubs, but younger men. I really do like women that are older.
Is that true? Do they really? Is that true? Is that why that term?
From my experience, yes.
Comes to your experience.
From
Look
my
at
job,
you.
from my online persona, yes.
I love that. Okay, so just be confident, like strut my stuff, like be aware of my womanhood. Is that sort of the way to do it?
Yes.
And then come. Now, when I think of Cubs, because I watch the Blue Jays, chef, and sometimes, and I'm going to probably blush scarlet red here, they are younger, they are in their 20s, they work out very hard, they take very good care of their bodies, chef, and sometimes I find myself going when I am watching them. So I think that might qualify for cougar behavior. Does that put me in the cougar realm, maybe?
Yeah,
because I get a little bit when I'm watching the Blue Jays. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's kind of opposite. The men are the ones that are getting are blushing looking at you.
Oh, okay. I'll have to go play blue baseball sometime then and see if that works. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. We're going to do that. We're going to take a little break, and we're going to come back, and we're going to talk about the cannabis news and, again, the Blue Jays. I know you don't watch them, but we'll talk about them anyway. Okay. We'll be right back after this. Educanation, a Canadian non-profit organization devoted to improving the quality of cannabis education and care across our nation and around the world. Educanation believes in continued education and support through the 3-tiered membership: cannabis education and outreach services, patient education and support through their holistic clinic model. Educanation, providing the highest standard of professional and responsible cannabis education. www.educanation.info. Hey, Chef, it's time for the cannabis news of the day. I love this article. I found it. It's talking about so whenever there's a news agency that isn't really like that cannabis friendly, but they'll do a cannabis news article that's always like breaking more ground, I think. And so this one
Mhm.
comes to us from News Medical Life Sciences .net, newsmedical.net, if anybody wants to look it up. And it talks about CBD oil, the health benefits and risk. It talks about how there's a growing interest in CBD as a potential, well, they're calling it drug, but in the treatment of wide spectrum or neurological disorders, including anxiety. And then it goes on and on about CBD oil and the health benefits. Let's
Mhm.
see, due to antioxidant, it's an anti-inflammatory, neuroprotective. So take a look at this article. Isn't this amazing?
Wow.
It's a medical article on a medical site talking about the health benefits
Finally,
of CBD oil. Do you use CBD oil yourself?
I
Do
do
you ever
use
use it in your
I
cooking? Do you
do.
use it? Tell me. Talk a
I
little bit
actually
about that.
use a brand that's called Royal Oil Rub. I'm not sure if you've heard of
I love
it.
royal oil rub. John. Hi, John.
Yes, yes. I use his topicals. I also
Yep.
use his topicals in my other work as well. He has
Oh,
a special one.
does. It's
Yeah,
like a lube, I think he has,
yeah.
and it's an award-winning product if I'm
And I did a
right. If
review for
I'm
him. Yes.
you Oh, that's wonderful. I'm so glad we were able to give him a plug. He has incredible
Yes,
products and he's
he's
been creating in this
amazing.
space for a
He's
long time
amazing.
too.
He's a pioneer. He's been around for a long time and he's such an awesome person.
He really is.
Mhm.
Yeah, he's amazing. He is amazing.
Yeah, I
I
use his
I'm
the the product that you just mentioned. Also, I have some eczema and skin like sensitivities, so it really does help. I have the one for eczema and psoriasis as well, and the bath bombs, and yeah, I really do like
Yeah,
his
I'm so glad
products
you were
for what.
able to bring that up. CBD is wellness as women's products. I've heard wonderful stories about women using it for perimenopause or premenopause, as well as menopausal signs and all kinds of that. So that's a great reason to use CBD. Do you also use CBD to cook with in any of the food that you do? I know that you
I
like to enhance
absolutely
with terpenes.
Yes, I absolutely do. I like to when I do an infused dinner, I like to give my clients like a little bit of a roller coaster ride. So you kind of go up and you go down and you go up and you go down. So I do a little THC CBD combination.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, so for the competition, you're going to be doing a savory dish, a dessert
Mhm,
dish, and a
mhm.
mocktail dish. Now, don't ruin any surprises, but is there anything that you can tell us maybe about a theme or what we can expect or anything at all? Tease us?
Ooh, well, I'm bringing the Caribbean vibes. That's all I can say.
Okay, I can smell it now. I can
I've
smell it
always had
already.
a passion for the Caribbean. I've spent some time there many years ago, and it's always something that's been in my heart. That when I've always been told like wow, I can't believe that you're a Caucasian woman cooking this food because it doesn't taste like you are.
I love that so
Because
much.
there's like people who are from the Caribbean or the islands, they're very critical, and especially
Oh,
if a
okay.
white woman
Well,
is cooking that food, right?
sure.
They're like, well, you
Sure, of
can't cook
course.
like we can. But yeah, I make a run for their money, that's for sure.
I love hearing that. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, Chef, we're rounding out our live broadcast today. Where can people find you on both of those platforms that we've been talking about today?
MJ Cocowana on Instagram and also Tease Me MJ Baby
Oh, I love
on on
it. It is spicy.
Instagram as
Find
well.
her.
It's a
Okay.
private platform for me, so I'm very critical of who I allow to see my stuff. So it's not
Okay.
public.
That makes Perfect sense. Thank you for letting me see the things that I do and make me blush. I will see you on Monday, June 1st in Whitby. Good luck. And I hope
Thank you.
that you can cook with cannabis. So you think you can cook. Thanks for joining us today, Chef. Thanks. See you
Thank
then.
you. Bye.